Welcome to a 1v1 on Kholodny Ferma Summer. This game is going to be Panzergrenadier1945, more commonly known as Panzergrenadier1945, versus Momo4sho123. I've cast both of these players many times. Obviously, Momo is the much less experienced player. All KO2 players are, I'm pretty sure, less experienced than Panzergrenadier1945 by at least 1,000 hours, except for maybe Sage. He's the only name I can even think of that even comes close. So, Momo, of course, has been... He's a growing presence in the community, though. He's practically the biggest KO2 stream around later at night these days. So I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with his name, and he's going to be participating in the Tyro Pacific Invitational, which is tonight. So I'm quite curious to see how this game's going to go. Angryfen never participates in tournaments, but he's obviously an excellent player. We've seen great things from him on my stream many times. We'll see what happens. We're going to see a 2 Volksgrenadier opening here from him, in addition to Squad of Stern Pioneers. Over Commando West goes with Breakthrough Doctrine quite early. Hi, Paul. Hi, Fahu. And Momo playing as Soviets this game. He's got Soviet Combined Arms, Shock Rifle, and Mechanized Support going for him. Hasn't chosen yet. On this map, Shock Rifle's popular. He could go ML20. ML20 is really good against Oberkommando West. I don't know if that's totally true on this map. We'll see what he chooses to do. And I would be pretty surprised, I think, to see Mechanized Support. I haven't seen the ISU at all this patch, actually. I haven't seen it even once. So I'd be intrigued to see that. I'm not really expecting it, but it could happen.
Enemy forces are attempting to capture our territory.
You have a question for me? Okay. What?
Fresh conscripts have arrived.
4 conscript opening from Momo, 4 Volksgrenadier opening for Angryfen, so just getting infantry on both sides. I don't know, is it you? I have no idea. Why are you asking me that?
We are losing supplies to the
I don't really participate in like KO2.org drama or whatever it is that's happening. Is somebody like accusing you of smurfing or something? Couldn't you just like play a 1v1 against that person and like post it and be like, boom, there you go. I don't think you need to exonerate yourself in my chat, but I have no idea. I don't know. I don't even know what you're really talking about. I'm laughing because I just think it's funny that you would ask me that. I don't understand like what. I don't even know what is happening. That's going. Whatever. It doesn't matter. If you want me to say no, that's definitely not you, then okay, no, that's you're 2 different people for sure. Anyway, Maxim. Maxim on the field from Momo, so he's going with a tier 2 into a Maxim. Meanwhile, his opponent has purchased nothing beyond these 4 Volksgrenadier opening. Kind of a late retreat on these. There they go. So he's floating manpower a little bit, probably waiting to get to Fusiliers, which he will get to extremely soon. His 2 CPs to start bringing those in. Hey, Easy Mac. Yep, that's me.
Our territory is falling into enemy
Is this a live game? Yes. Yep. This is live, happening right now. Momo presumably getting warmed up for the tournament that he's playing in about an hour. In fact, I think I might want to put the timer up on my stream too. I'm going to do that.
Comrades, we have now installed a field hospital at headquarters. We are ready to go, comrades.
And up to this point, by the way, Angryfen clearly just dominating on all fronts. Surprisingly enough, Momo is actually struggling to hold on to even his own fuel point. Against a 4 Volksgrenadier opening, he was even floating a ton of manpower. And he didn't go Fusiliers, he actually went mechanized into Puma. And yet Momo has no map control. Really rough early game for Momo so far. Really nasty. Cast that later? No, well, the tournament's later. I'm not going to be streaming for very long.
Enemy infantry!
I mean, I could cast this. I'm not going to. No. No, I'm not going to cast that game.
Supply half track is ready for orders.
No, I'm not going to stream the tournament. I'm just going to... I'm probably just going to host him. He's going to be streaming it, though. You're in it, Paul. Right? Yeah, you're in the tournament. Yeah, I'm going to host him for sure. Hopefully I'll be watching it a little bit, too. Yeah, he is. Tyrope's he's gonna stream it for sure. So the Puma's doing not that much. It has 1 kill. It's not like much of a factor. Momo's gotten a lot of his territory back here in the north, but he's just not getting pushed around. I think he's struggling a little bit because a lot of the forces he has on the field, he just kind of parks in buildings and then he doesn't keep them moving and active and have them contribute in engagements as much, but he does create this zone around the church where it's difficult for Angreifen to maneuver, so on the one hand that is helpful, but he really needs to try and keep that fuel point under his control at least. He just has no territory at all. He's getting tier 3 up pretty quick. You can get it up a lot faster than this if you have a better early game. Clearly Momo struggling a little bit. He may have been struggling for manpower early on too. I'm not sure when he bought Field Infirmary, but if he bought it a little on the early side, I don't know. I think it's mostly his micro. Losing 4 cons plus flamethrower to just 4 Volksgrenadiers. There's not that much. He's only just now throwing Fusiliers on the field, and he does that as a reaction to the fact that his cutoff is being taken here. So Fusiliers might be able to win this. Charging against these conscripts in green cover. They stop at the yellow cover right here, which I'm not sure they should do. Oh, but they're upgrading with G43s right there. As soon as that pops, those conscripts definitely can't win that. They're forced to retreat in the engagement in this area. Puma's doing well. It actually picked up a couple snipes right there, I think, if it's up to 4 kills already. So 4 kills on the Puma, Maxim, and conscripts.
Reconnaissance vehicle ready.
Taking back control here in the north, and the Puma's going to circle back towards the center, towards the cutoff, and just hover in this area. Momo's going to be spending a bit of time capping and reinforcing, his opponent doing the same. There's tier 2 up.
This is support package received. This is it. Puma ready. Squad back to work.
And it moves to take some shots at conscripts, taking throwing up a sandbag position. It has a little bit of light bleed. It's not going to do too much. It can clear the sandbags out, so that's beneficial. G43s move up through this route and immediately retreat. Maxim switches targets to these Volksgrenadiers.
We are losing territory.
And it gets one of them. But the VP is going to fall back into Angreifen's control. Momo's going to try and split his forces up a little bit, get control of the south back in. Now that he's got tier 3 up, he's got a M5 on the way, upgrading with the quad mount. So I think that the Puma was a preemptive measure to protect against the quad.
Yes, comrade.
He's able to bleed his opponent's infantry a little bit, and now he's pretty ready for this already. I almost wonder if this was a mistake. Kind of built right into what his opponent was expecting, I think, with this.
Standing by.
I mean, it's extremely powerful. It's extremely good. The Puma should counter it, though, I think. It probably mostly comes down to
Enemy is taking what we have secured.
micro and positioning, so we'll see how that goes for him. So far, it hasn't made much of an impact. He's just kind of parking it in this area and trying to defend his territory while he's harassing the south. Here comes a bit of a counter-harassment attempt, taking the middle VP and the strategic point right outside the base. Quad eats a Panzergrenadier shot right there, but suppresses 2 squads immediately. That squad has no choice but to retreat immediately. Volksgrenadiers continue circling around the north, getting all of that under control. Pretty much as soon as Angreifen spotted that quad, he just had to get everything out of there. The suppression forced these 2 squads to retreat, and that squad was in danger of getting wiped. So 3 squads sent back into the base. Already, Momo's gonna send this to maybe pick up the squad way overextended up here in the north. I don't know if it's gonna do enough damage on their retreat path to finish that squad off entirely, but it's probably a serious threat. Momo's not even going to make the attempt. He's just going to send that back down towards the south. 2 squads trying to brute force conscripts out of the church. They're just providing vision. They can't really do anything in return. They fall a little bit low right there, but stick around for an AT grenade on the Puma, damaging its engine before getting out of there. That's going to have to pull back for some repairs. And the quad also needs some light repairs, but it's not in any serious danger. Demo charge goes down here on the south fuel. And infantry support gun is on the field now. Gonna try and bleed Momo's infantry forces. Ooh, that way. Shoe mine gets detonated by conscripts on the retreat. So that's going to alert Momo to the threat of mines a little bit right there. He may want to consider getting a second combat engineer squad out for a mine sweeper. Either that or he's gonna have to be very careful with how he uses the quad. Puma has an opportunity here to maybe chase down the M5 with the main, well, the main gun's not really destroyed, so I really hope they fix that soon. Puma has to pop smoke. Nice timing and positioning on the AT gun right there. But I couldn't quite get a second shot off thanks to the smoke. That Puma pulls back for some repairs. Ooh, demo charge in the south. Does something, right? I don't know what that killed. I missed it. I don't know if he swept that up or not. He's got... I think that might have wiped a something. No. He must have spotted that or swept that up somehow. So, okay. What is the point of casting a game that's being cast live at the same time in the channel just above this? If you wanted to watch a cast of it instead of watching it being played. And I'm mostly just getting, just doing this as a warm-up because Momo is playing in the Pacific Invitational. Oh, I was going to set up a countdown timer for that also. Which is very soon, in like 20 minutes. Yeah, tie rope specific invitational in 20 minutes. There we go. So that's the point. Soviet mine goes down here in the south. And the infantry support gun's doing what it can against the Maxim in this building. It should be able to force it out eventually. It takes a little while, but it's getting it down. And Momo actually has a bit of an opportunity here to go clear that. A little bit exposed while 3 squads are busy capping here in the south. M5 fully repaired. It's only got 1 kill, so it actually hasn't done that much this game. Puma seems to be doing a good job of managing it, and it's actually the Puma has 7 kills against infantry. AA half-track's only got 1, so that's I think that's a good example of how having the Puma already on the field really mitigated the threat that this posed, but he's still able to use it as a forward reinforce point, so he definitely benefits from it that way. Another AT grenade connects with the Puma right there. We'll have to pull back for repairs again. Momo has spent a lot of munitions damaging that thing's engine, but he doesn't have any way of following up at all and finishing the job, so I'm not really sure what that accomplishes. Stern Pioneers will be forced to retreat right there. Good timing on that retreat anyway, since he's going to need to send that back to repair the Puma. Although he's also got the Mechanized Regiment HQ repairing it. And he's picked Soviet Combined Arms Army probably a while ago, but he hasn't utilized any of its features. The guards could help deal with the Puma a little bit, and he's got a little bit of manpower float, but I think he's just waiting for the ML-20, and he's probably going to field that next. Would be my guess. T-34-76 in production out of the Tier 4 structure as well. Once the T-34 is on the field, that'll give him another mobile counter-harassment unit to help him maintain control of maybe the center and south, where he's weakest. Volksgrenadiers will continue working the north as well. M5 not currently in motion, doing anything. And the Puma is now fully repaired again. May move up to try and take shots at the M5 if it can find an opportunity. He destroys that cover position. Interesting. And he does not have vision of the M5 right now, so. Combat engineers taking control of the south VP while Volksgrenadiers are grabbing the north. Puma exposes itself to AT gunfire. Both light vehicles at roughly the same level of HP, and both of them are going to pull back for repairs. Here comes the T-34. And Jagdpanzer in production at the almost exact same time. So Puma into Jagdpanzer seems to be a pretty solid build against this Soviet Tier 3 into Tier 4. I think that the Jagdpanzer is arriving at the perfect time to keep him safe from the T-34, and the Puma can supplement his damage a little bit. But other than that, he may be a little light on AT. With 800 manpower in the bank, he could get Rechenwerfers, but so far he's chosen not to. And I'm not sure why. I wonder what he's gonna get instead. Maybe he's just stockpiling manpower to replace losses. G43s go for the munitions. Grenade into the building will wipe that Maxim if it doesn't get out, which it did not. Building comes down and the Maxim is dead. And the conscript squad gets away only very narrowly.
Fall in with the Panzerschreck. Squad, gather around. Mission accomplished.
Reconnaissance. Enemy trying to suppress.
Area secure. Contact! All arms fire!
Conscripts move to try and take control of the south a little bit. Wait, I have the time wrong. Oops. I got that totally wrong. My bad. My bad. Let me fix that. I don't know why I'm stupid. There we go.
Enemy forces are attempting to capture our territory. We are in the ship now.
I was like, wait, this game's gonna end like well after my countdown timer ends. Couple squads in the north got a little bit overextended right there. They get away pretty narrowly. Has anything been wiped this game besides that one Maxim? I don't think so. Oh, a squad of Volksgrenadiers went down. Okay, so one wipe on both sides of roughly equal cost. It's a pretty even game thus far as wipes are concerned. As far as kills, not as much. Clearly, Angreifen in a hefty lead, and that is reflected in both their resource counts. He's got 1,000 manpower in the bank, but he doesn't need to spend it. He's got almost the whole map. Momo really struggling to get territory. Really struggling. Infantry support guns up to 6 kills. Hasn't done anything amazing. I'm surprised Momo hasn't made an ML-20. I wonder what features of this commander he is interested in. He just called in a recon pass. I don't know if he gained any information that is gonna help him in this situation. What does TPI mean? It stands for Tightrope Specific Invitational. It's a tournament that's starting in 40 minutes. 8-man single or maybe double elimination. I don't actually remember if it's single or double, but it's an 8-man tournament. Momo's gonna be in it. 2 other members of RTN, Paul, OMG Pop. It's a great lineup. It's gonna be a really good time. I'm not gonna be casting it, But I'll be reffing for it. Tyrope will be casting it. He's another caster you might recognize, and I hope you recognize. And it should be really good, actually. I think it should be really good. So, if you're looking for KO2 live competition, you tuned in on the right night. And there's another timer going on KO2.org as well if you want to check that out. So, things have quieted down a little bit. Puma pulls back for repairs again. I think that's the 4th AT nade. It's been thrown at that thing. It's eaten a lot of Momo's munitions, which is, I mean, it's not that big of a deal, but kind of. There's the ML20, by the way, finally. He's building that a little deeper into the base. I'm curious to see if Panzergrenadier is going to find a way to deal with this somehow. That's going to be very difficult for Oberkommando West to destroy without any form of off-map artillery. I don't know if he's just going to tank it, try and avoid it, try and keep his forces very spread out, or if he's going to make some sort of deep maneuver into the base. Try and get it cleaned up. Because finding a way to deal with this as Oberkommando West is very, very challenging. So I'm curious to see what he's going to do once he sees that it's on the field. Firing its first volley here in the middle already. That could be so nasty. I think. Is it coming? Might have heard it firing. Where is it? Oh, it's not firing there. It's firing... Ooh, it's firing way into the base. Oh, no. So that didn't really do anything. These two squads were kind of tricked into retreating by the sound of it firing. But Momo was just firing blind into the base, maybe trying to deal some damage to these trucks and start putting pressure on Angreifen that way. A random straight shot right now could be bad. He fired it right there, though, I think. Centered in this general area. The scatter's pretty high when fired at max range like this. He cleared a base gun and shut down repairs briefly. That didn't do too much, and Panzergrenadier will be alerted to its existence now. So yeah, I'm curious to see what he's going to do to try and get that cleaned up. Meanwhile, the engagement for the north goes in Momo's favor, and Angreifen forced to pull back. And Momo will get the munitions that they're back under his control. He's also fielded himself a squad of guards. Might be able to get a little extra damage on that Puma. Puma is going to go deep. I don't know if this was a good idea. He really wants to take out that M20, but I think that this was a mistake. Oh, no. Wow, I am surprised he did that, and that Puma's dead. Okay, so much for that. He was hoping there wouldn't be anything protecting, but conscripts just sitting in the base. That was the easiest Puma pickup I've ever seen. Is that Jagdpanzer seriously going to dive right now? Wow, he really wants to kill that thing. He's putting his units at great risk. Alright, that's pulling back. It did expose itself to engine damage, but I don't think it's in any real danger. The T-34 is going to pull back. New Puma in production. Jagdpanzer kind of making some odd maneuvers. It shouldn't stay under AT gunfire for too long. Got a lucky bounce right there. That's going to get out of there. Rakettenwerfer moving up to protect, and G43 is also available to protect, I think. Ooh, what happened here? Sturm Pioneers just got wiped by an ML20 shot. The effect of that ML20 already being felt. Ooh. And the game is taking a pretty dramatic turn in Momo's favor now that artillery piece is on the field. Not only did it kill a Sturm Pioneer squad, it also effectively killed a Puma. Because it convinced Panzergrenadier to maneuver it in an extremely dangerous way. He gambled really hard right there, and it didn't work out. Ooh, nice pickup right there, though. G43 squad finds a squad of guards way overextended. They get picked up, so that's a good trade, almost. Guard's pretty expensive. Might put him a little bit behind in the fuel game, but he's had really solid map control all game long. So I think he could afford the loss of that Puma. He needs to not let that happen again, though, and he also needs to try to pray that the ML20 doesn't take too hefty a toll on him throughout the course of the game. The longer the game goes, the more of a problem it's going to be. light damage to the trucks. He was forced to repurchase a Stern Pioneer squad, and every time a squad retreats, it's in the danger zone, so... You will need to be very mindful of that. Despite the threat of the M20, clearly, he's doing very well from map control. Or at least good enough. He's having trouble setting up a triple cap, but he has a significant lead. He's up 70 points. Both players still up over 300, so nobody is in a very urgent situation. But as Oberkommando West, since you have generally got a pretty solid late game, that's a pretty good position to be in. The main late game problem that Angreifen's obviously going to have is just the ML20. The ML20 is the Soviet late game threat that he clearly, so far, having trouble with. It's already got 17 kills. I didn't even see most of those, but his manpower is going down a little bit. He still has quite a lead over Momo, though. I think I am starting to see why he floats so much too. Because he knows he's going to need to replace losses later on. But maybe if he had spent manpower more aggressively earlier, he could have set up triple caps and not been in this situation in the first place. I don't know. I don't know. Stern Pioneers winning their engagement against that flamethrower. Rakettenwerfer just got nailed. I think a squad may be wiped also. It looks like it was a pretty nasty shot. And the trucks might get destroyed soon too if he doesn't get those repaired. These vehicles doing effective counter-harassment. Vet 3 with only 9 kills on this thing. Almost picks up a Volksgrenadier squad. Probably could have if he had maneuvered a little bit better right there. But with the Jagdpanzer available to protect and the threat of mines, maybe he intentionally chose not to overextend. Fusiliers taking control here of the center. More ML20 fire here, bleeding these infantry even harder. He's gambling by repairing under artillery fire, but he knows he may not have no choice. If he doesn't, he risks letting the truck be destroyed. So he takes the risk. It pays off. Truck is alive. ML20 barrage comes to an end. He needs to try and get that repaired as quick as he can. He's got the support upgrade, so that's as fast as this is gonna go. Needs to try and keep those trucks up if he wants to have healing. But I feel like the map is starting to flash more blue than red slowly over time. Angreifen's struggling to keep his hold on the map, and he lost a Vet 4 or 5 Fusilier squad in an artillery barrage. That was a weapon he kind of needed here in the late game to help him deal with Soviet infantry. That is a painful loss. He's got some munitions stockpiled though, and manpower, so he could replace that loss. He's choosing not to. I'm not sure what he's saving for right now. Maybe King Tiger, I guess? I don't know. He doesn't have a tier 4 up, so... And he's not building it. I would be very surprised if he got a Jagd Tiger. So yeah, I'm not sure, actually, what he's thinking. But he needs something. No Panzer IV this game from him, from the tier 4 structure. Maybe that could give him the mobility he needs to try and hunt and destroy this, which is up to 23 kills now. No sign of that slowing down. Another Stern Pioneer? Is that what you mean by SP? Why would he get that? Like, why that instead of, like, with 300 munitions in the bank, why not just more Fusiliers? Just for faster repairs, I guess. TPI is Tightrope's Pacific Invitational. It's an 8-man tournament happening in 32 minutes. So get excited for that. That's going to be a good time. Wow, apparently this infantry support gun was doing sufficient damage to Momo that he felt like he should try and get that cleared up. It's got 19 kills on it, and actually, Momo's infantry forces are running a little thin. He's only got 2 squads of conscripts left, plus he lost a squad of guards to those G43s earlier, so... Infantry forces for Panzergrenadier actually looking surprisingly healthy, despite the effects of that ML20. Anyway, you can see the players in the tournament. Yes, you can. I can show them off right now, in fact.
We are losing territory.
Right here. Paul, Outlaw Star, Momo, who we're watching right now. Devil's Brigade, Giap, Dusty, Pop, and Fahu. So it's a great lineup. It's going to be a good time. I'll copy paste that link into the chat if anybody wants to check that out. Oh shit. Apparently I'm missing a huge engagement though. 234s go in hard right there. Angreifen I don't think was expecting that. He picks up the Puma easily. It looks like the ML20 is firing into the base in the midst of this engagement. Might even get a hit off on the Jagdpanzer. It does! Oh my god, direct hit from the ML20 destroys that. Wow. Wow. I've never seen that happen before. The luck on that shot. Like, the next shot landed way over here. Oh man, Devil's Brigade is a super nice guy. He's also a caster. He's another caster for Coach, so you should check out his YouTube stuff. And I think he streams as well, so yeah. That ML20 shot though. Well, that wasn't that esports. I mean, he knew the barrage was happening in that area. There's worse RNG in KO2. There's much worse RNG. And to be fair, I think that engagement was probably lost anyway. That ML20 shot may have been part of the reason this T-34 got out alive, though. What do you mean, Antilles? Were you in a game just now? I didn't see you in the list. I chose Momo because he's in the tournament tonight, so I thought that would be a good preview. Man, ML20 is proving exactly what I thought it was going to be. I don't know how Commando West deals with this. I'm starting to understand why he YOLO'd his Puma directly into his opponent's base as soon as he knew it was on the field. He gambled. On the one hand, he gambled. If he had played safer, maybe he wouldn't be in this situation now. He'd have two Pumas instead of one for that last big engagement, so maybe you could argue that was a mistake. But he really, really wanted just not to have to deal with this because it's so brutal. 34 kills on this thing, and it doesn't even have. It just sits here in the Soviet base. Easy to protect. Huge, huge impact on his opponent. Very difficult for Panzergrenadier to deal with. So I definitely get why he would have made that gamble, but it clearly did not pay off, and the game is slowly falling out of his control, despite the fact he had a huge early lead. Oh, a plane just crashed. I missed it. Where did that happen? I want to see the plane crash! Every plane crash tells a story. It looks like... Okay, I don't think that hit anything.
Command structure is under attack.
Ready! Target captured. Prepare for all enemy.
ML20 just keeps pounding the base. Stern Pioneers have not been able to out-repair the damage it inflicts, and the Mechanized Regiment headquarters has gone down. The Tier 2 is going to be soon to follow, one barrage away from destroying that, and there's another Tier 3. So if he was going to go Tier 4, he's just definitely not going to go Tier 4, I think. Obviously would have by now. He's replacing his Tier 3. Tier 2's gone. He will no longer have access to healing at all. M5 chases away some harassing infantry here in the north. Despite the effects of that artillery, Momo has taken serious losses, and as a result, the map is split pretty much in half, actually trending, I think, a little in Angreifen's favor, which is astounding considering that most engagements and the indirect fire situation seem to be going in Momo's favor. Despite all of that, it seems like Panzergrenadier cannot... It seems like Momo can't keep map control. I don't know why he's having so much trouble turning the map blue despite all of these big wins. Jagdpanzer on the field. That's a new one. Fresh Jagdpanzer. It's about to expose its rear armor. T-34 moving down the right flank. I think he might have heard that coming. Needs to try and pull that back to safety. T-34 takes a shot. It bounces. Jagdpanzer's in a little bit of danger. This T-34 will move to re-engage, but it's lagging a little behind. I don't know if it'll be able to catch up to the fight. I think it just ate an AT gun shot from the rear as well, and I am pretty sure that Jagdpanzer's going to go down. Game is snowballing out of Angreifen's control quickly. Ooh, and it's abandoned. I I don't think there's any way Momo can recover that, but clearly there's nothing Panzergrenadier can do to save that, and another Jagdpanzer goes up in flames.
Enemy movement! On the flank! We lost a gun crew. Infantry attacking in front!
Welcome back. Thank you. I've been doing Co2 content for like every couple days at least. The last 2 weeks. But thank you for welcoming me back, everybody. Appreciate it. Maybe it's because I didn't do it at this time of day. I haven't done like evening stuff. That's what it is. It's a different audience. Different people watching. Ooh. Oh, that crush! Oh, that was a really nasty crush. Oh no. There it goes though. He sacrificed the Fusilier squad for that. Whole squad of Fusiliers went down, but T-34 also destroyed. ML-20 barrage coming in on this blob is not on target. Fortunately for Angreifen, manages to get that clear. Heavy losses on both sides, but clearly Angreifen suffering the heaviest. He's now going to send his blob straight into Momo's base, but he has base gun protection. This isn't going to work. When will I go back to casting Grey Goo? Never say never, X-Leaves fan. Well, this didn't work. That was desperation if I've ever seen it. I think we might be looking at the end of the game.
Enemy forces are attempting to capture our territory.
Objective secure. We will defend it to the death.
Going with 2 Pumas in this emergency situation. With the T-34 back for repairs, maybe you'll finally get this thing picked up. That shot missed. He's going to try and circle the church. Conscript's moving up on the for the AT grenade. There it is. Will connect. Second Puma's not on the field yet, and I think the M5 might juke its way out of this situation. I can't tell what's going to happen. Ooh, main gun destroyed. All right. M5 wins that. Because main gun destroyed crits. Work on Pumas, but not on M5s. That seems fair. Well, I've heard that, but I can't tell if it's because US forces are underpowered or because Soviets are overpowered. Maybe US forces is actually fine. But Soviets are just way better with the ML-20 and the M5. I mean, I have to say, this thing seems pretty ridiculous right now. 39 kills on this thing. Just seems like there's nothing Angreifen can do. There's no commander he could have chosen that would have given him a solution to this. Osterra just needs to click a button and it's dead, so... Seems pretty rough. Hi, I'm in Tahoe. I mean, the game's still going. It's not going to end for a while. I'm not sure I can envision a situation in which Angreifen wins this. He's just diving into Momo's base repeatedly, hurling units at this at this howitzer as if it's going to help. Called in assault artillery too, hoping that a shell was going to land on top of this and give him a miracle or something. I don't know. I mean, look how close it is to being destroyed. I feel like it's almost bad manners on Momo's part not to repair this. He's just leaving it there as bait and letting Angreifen throw his whole army into the Soviet base. Oh. Okay, well, I'd say that pretty much sums this game up. That final artillery shot, and there you go. GG. Momo wins. Momo wins. I have to say, you know, Momo had a conversation with me in my stream recently. He said, Romeo, do you think that I can qualify for Operation Charlie Fox? Or no, he said, Romeo, do you think I could win Operation Charlie Fox? And I said, no, I don't think you have a chance. I honestly, I don't think you're good enough. And he's like, all right, but I've been laddering really hard. I'm going to try and change the community's mind a little bit. about that, and he just beat Angreifen. That's not easy. That is no small feat, and I know he used the ML20 to do it, but it would be ridiculous to say that the ML20 is not going to be present in Operation Charlie Fox. So we might be seeing him be a serious contender for Operation Charlie Fox prize money. 6 different people win prizes in Operation Charlie Fox, so he's no joke. If you run into him on the ladder, better watch out. And better yet, let's see how he performs in Tightrope Pacific Invitational. That's starting in 20 minutes. And he's going to be in that too. So he's going to be forced to go up against big names like Paul, Pop, Giap, and so on. Should be something. GG.